persons
telco, and 13 broadcast companies. The three telco franchises include Dito Telecommunity Corporation and Instant Data, which we initially heard last December, and Trans-Pacific Broadband Group International. As for the 13 broadcast franchises, we have Blockbuster Broadcasting, Tagbilaran Broadcasting, City Government of Davao, University of the Philippines System, Rollin Broadcasting, Servatron Industries, Christian Music Power, Good News Sorsogon Foundation, Allied Broadcasting Center, Palawan Broadcasting Corporation, St. Jude Institute of Technology, Baycoms Broadcasting Corporation, and Highland Broadcasting Network. So there are a lot of franchises to be tackled today so that we can efficiently go through this hearing in the most reasonable time, finish our concerns today. I will begin first with the broadcast companies, after which, because I anticipate there will be more questions from our senators for the telco franchises. So we shall begin first with the broadcast franchises. Now, for Dito and Instant Data, you're given another opportunity to prove yourselves worthy of a franchise or an extension of a franchise. We expect no less from you with regard to your commitment during the previous hearings. For Dito, first, you supposedly commenced commercial activities 2 days ago. We would like to know what services you offered, their rates, and how many people signed up or subscribed to Dito's services as of today. We are happy to hear the good connection reported by users on your first day. We also received reports on phone, but we received reports with regards to phone compatibility issues and other weird mechanics like needing to buy a compatible phone to be able to use Dito SIM immediately. And if not, the user has to wait a few days to be able to acquire a SIM card. Users also noted the lack of publicity and marketing on important information about the launch. And supposedly, you can only buy Dito SIMs from one outlet or a certain company. We also want to be clarified as to how Dito determined the areas for the initial rollout, supposedly to serve the underserved in Mindanao as per media advisories. But are the initial 15 areas in Metro Cebu and Metro Davao still unserved and underserved areas? Also, do these areas sufficiently meet the 37% population coverage commitment? When will Dito service actually reach the 37% coverage? Second, we seek explanation to some matters relating to the procedure and results of the independent audit report. Why is it that only 12% of the sample was audited? Is this a global standard? How did you arrive at this rate? And is this approved or recommended by the NTC? It is also important to know if the findings will be consistent once subscribers start using the network. We have invited representatives from RG Manabat and Company, the group who conducted the independent audit, to enlighten us more about their report. Third, we also want to know Dito's preparation for year 2 rollout, as the second audit on July 8, 2021 is fast approaching. What has been accomplished and what do we expect from Dito in the coming months? Dito was granted the third player status because it was evaluated as capable of competing with the 2 other major players. And while we understand birthing pains, we are also looking for marked improvement from the status quo by the present telcos. For instant data, we hope you are properly represented this time by someone who can actually speak for your company and is knowledgeable about your company and the services that it can offer. Allow me to reiterate that the grant of franchise is not a right. It is a privilege given to you. New franchise applicants must establish that there is a public need for the service they propose to deliver and the means to adequately provide it. To those for renewal, treat the franchise not only as a privilege, but as a checklist of your obligations and commitments to the public. We have invited government regulators and stakeholders to determine faithful compliance with the duties and deliverables attached as conditions for the enjoyment of those franchises. As I previously said, sa mga magre-renew, serbisyo muna bago prangkisa. While we welcome the coming of more players in the telco and broadcast industry, we want to make sure that all applicants are fit to offer their avowed public service so as to encourage competition, drive companies to provide better service, and meet end user expectations. And especially now with the pandemic, what is important also is to provide opportunities and jobs. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our senators, virtual presence of our senators. We have our Senate President, Senator Soto. We have Majority Leader, Senator Zubiri. We have Senator Go. Other senators will join us after, or maybe if they get a chance to excuse themselves from the current committee hearing of the Committee on Appointments. So with that, I would like to ask the committee secretary to please acknowledge our guests and then their designations as well. Go ahead, please. To the committee secretary, you're muted. Please unmute yourself and repeat.
Sorry, Madam Chair. Sorry,
Umpisa ulit, please. Wala kami narinig.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. From the DICT, from the Department of Information and Communications Technology, we have Director Jose Carlos Reyes, Cybersecurity Bureau, and Attorney Elias Omar Sana, the Chief Legislative Liaison Division. Later on, I think Yusek Emmanuel Kaintik will also join. And then we have from the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Attorney Ralbert Neil Tibayan from the Law and Legislative Division, with Attorney Brianna De Los Santos. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, we have Attorney Trina Donabel Gojunco and Sir Vicente Peñamora. From the Philippine Competition Commission, we have Commissioner Johannes Benjamin Bernabe, Mr. Jedrick Jose Lotilia. From the Department of National Defense, we have Attorney Raymond Zenon Palmera from the Legal Office. From the National Security Council, we have Ms. Maria Victoria Castro, Assistant Secretary, with Attorney Chari May Valenzuela. From the Department of Health, we have Mr. Yuli M. Gallo, Assistant Division Chief from the Knowledge Management Information Technology Service. He will be joined by other DOH representatives later. We have Mr. From the Dito Telecommunity Corporation, we have Attorney Adel Tamano, Chief Administrative Officer. From Instant Data Incorporated, we have Mr. Alfonso Cruz, President, with Attorney Caridad Gonzalez, Consultant. From the Trans-Pacific Broadband Group International, we have Attorney Leonides Respicio, Corporate Secretary, with Mr. Paul B. Saria, Vice President. From the Blockbuster Broadcasting System, we have Mr. Leo Nelson Capulso, President, with Ms. Liway B. Katapia, Financial Consultant. From the Tagbilaran Broadcasting System, Inc., we have Mr. Anastasio Daniel Jr., President, with Mr. Jeffrey Tupas. That's for Tagbilaran. Mr. Anastasio Daniel Jr. For Davao City Radio Broadcasting Station, we have Mr. Jeffrey Tupas, Davao City Information Officer, with Mr. Billy Danril Dulatre, a consultant, Davao City Radio. From Servatron Industries, Inc., we have Mr. Ramon Escueta, Chief Operating Officer, General Manager, with Mr. Danilo Infante, Chief Financial Officer. From the University of the Philippines System, we have Attorney Danilo Concepcion, the President of the system, with Attorney Hector Dani Uy, Vice President for Legal Affairs. For Allied Broadcasting Center, Inc., we have Mr. Edward Benedict V. Galang, the Director and Head of Engineering. For Palawan Broadcasting Corporation, we have Mr. Victor de Guzman, Head of Finance, with Mr. L. Jean Damasco, the General Manager. For St. Jude Tadeus Institute of Technology, we have Attorney Marilyn Santos, Legal Counsel. For Good News Sorsogon Foundation, Inc., we have Father Philip Galianosa, the President, and Mr. Pierre S. Gueva, the General Manager. For Baycoms Broadcasting Corporation, we have Mr. Elmer Catulpos, the President, with Ms. Yelsi Y. Catulpos, the Chief Financial Officer. Also, from Highland Broadcasting Network Corp., we have Mr. Carmelo Coro, the President and Chairman, with Attorney Army Jane Roa Borge, the Legal Advisor. We have from Democracy.net, we have Engineer Pierre Tito Galia. And from KPMG Manabat and Company, we have Mr. Jalaine Marcel S. Manrique. That's all for the meantime, Madam Chair.
Thank you. As I said, we're going to begin with our broadcasting franchises. I will ask the NTC, the SEC, and the BIR. Have you evaluated the applicants for franchise? Are all the applicants able to completely and timely submit necessary documents, paid taxes, among others? Are there any issues, liabilities, or pending cases concerning the franchises? Let's begin with the NTC. NTC, you have the names of all of the broadcasting companies applying for a franchise?
Yes, Your Honors.
Okay. And so all of them, let me read to you the names again,
Yes,
one by
Your Honor.
one, and then tell me if they've all complied. Let's begin with Blockbuster Broadcasting.
Yes, Your Honor. That's
So
House
they're
Bill
They're
62.
compliant?
Yes, Your Honor. Opo.
Okay. Tagbilaran Broadcasting.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay naman po siya.
City Government of Davao.
Yes, Your Honor. I think that's a new franchise.
Okay. So no issues, right?
No issues po.
University of the Philippines System.
No issues, Your Honors.
Rollin Broadcasting.
They're also compliant, Your Honors.
Servatron Industries.
They are likewise compliant, Your Honors.
Christian Music Power.
They're also compliant, Your Honors.
Good News Sorsogon Foundation.
They're also compliant, Your Honors.
Allied Broadcasting Center.
Same, Your Honors. Okay din po sila.
Palawan Broadcasting Corporation.
Yes, Your Honors. They're also compliant.
St. Jude Tadeus Institute of Technology.
They're also compliant, Your Honors.
Baycoms Broadcasting Corporation.
They're also compliant, Your Honors.
And finally, Highland Broadcasting Network.
I think that's a new franchise, Your Honor, so no issues as well.
Okay. Can you describe to us briefly, Commissioner,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the requirements for you to be able to allow them to operate? The major requirements that they have to fulfill
Well,
as
Your Honors.
broadcasting companies.
Opo, thank you very much po. First of all, Your Honors, what we check is their technical capacity. So it's actually based on the number of ECEs or electronics and communication engineers that they have. And then they also have to submit their annual reports for us to check their 70/30 debt equity, if they're compliant with that financial requirement, Your Honors. Also, we also check if they have any pending administrative cases. But so far, dito po sa list natin, okay naman po sila lahat. And if they're also updated with their supervision and regulatory fees, updated din po sila lahat, Your Honors.
So, Commissioner, for example,
Yes,
it's a new applicant. You check their capability. You already have checked their capability, the technical
actually,
capability.
for new applicants, Your Honors, once they get the franchise from the uh, Congress, assigned also by the President, what they do is they apply for an authority per area, Your Honors. So, kunwari po, a new one would be Highland or Davao Broadcasting. We will check po these three items, yung kanila pong legal, if their franchise is valid, and if they have a 100% Filipino ownership because it's a broadcasting company. Another thing is we check if the proposed area they can roll out based on a 70/30 debt equity, kung tama po yun. And then pangatlo po is yun pong meron po silang sinasabit na mga rollout plans, yung pong technical. So based on those three items po, we grant or we deny their petition po, Your Honors.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Senator.
Relax ka muna.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll call the next naman. For the NTC, after the NTC, we have the Security and Exchange Commission.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
So the SEC, were they able to completely submit necessary documents, paid up fees, all of these franchises that we are tackling today for broadcast? Are they all current?
Your Honor, for the broadcasting companies, for Blockbuster Broadcasting.
Ma'am, can you speak louder? We really can't hear you.
Hello. Is this clear enough?
Okay.
For Blockbuster Broadcasting System Inc., they have to coordinate with our compliance monitoring division for the monitoring, since they are asked to amend the 2020 GIS to include the chairman of the board. So as to other compliance, they are in compliance with the requirement except for the amendment of the 2020 GIS. That is for Blockbuster Broadcasting System Inc. For Rollin Broadcasting Enterprises Inc., we issued a tentative monitoring sheet. So they're asked to, again, coordinate with our compliance monitoring division. And for Christian Music Power Inc., there is a prepared monitoring sheet with a penalty of 500 pesos. They just have to settle this with the SEC. Then we can already issue a certificate of no derogatory information after the submission of the after the settlement of the penalty. Lastly, for Servatron Industries Inc., we also prepared a monitoring sheet in the amount of 10,825. The company is asked to settle the penalties, and after which we can issue the certificate of no derogatory information. Your Honor, those are just the 4 broadcasting companies that we ask to coordinate with our compliance monitoring division for the update of the certificate of no derogatory information.
So the other companies you have not had a chance to evaluate yet?
We had a chance to evaluate them, and they are in compliance with all the requirements. In fact, we have already prepared the corresponding certificate of no derogatory information for the other broadcasting companies.
Okay, so we would like to ask the SEC to please submit the remaining documents that need to be provided by those companies that you mentioned, because before we present in plenary the franchise bill, those will have to be fulfilled.
Right, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And then, of course, the BIR.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Uh, yes. For the following companies, there are no. We didn't see any pending issues pa regarding their tax compliance.
So no issues with all the companies mentioned for tax
Yes, po.
compliance. Okay, then that was quick. Now, since we got all those technical aspects out of the way, I would like to ask the franchise applicants now, a representative for each, to describe in 2 minutes or less what service your company can provide, and for the record, that you are strictly following the 60-40 rule on ownership, meaning 60% Filipino owned. How many employees do you have? How much is your annual net income? How much is your operating cost? What is your coverage right now? Do you plan to expand? And if you are also aware that a certain percentage of your broadcast should be child-friendly shows. Um, you know what? I should ask also the KBP. Maybe after all of your presentations, we will ask the KBP to comment. So let's begin with Blockbuster. Go ahead.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Nelson Capulso, President of Blockbuster Broadcasting, Inc. Our station is located in Mandaluyong, and our scope of broadcast is Metro Manila. Of course, we have spillover in Batangas. Our format is R&B and hip hop, and of course, we offer service by news and information, and of course public service by local news. And our ownership is 100% Filipino. And right now, since because of the pandemic, we have applied for a furlough from Dole. So ngayon, at least we have how many? At least 12 employees for now. And also from the documents that we submitted before regarding our plans in the future, we have already bought a new solid state transmitter and antenna for better signal, of course, for our audience. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
I have a quick question for Blockbuster.
Yes.
In 2000 to 2001, you were a neophyte company. You were able to acquire an FM radio station from IBC, reportedly at about 218 million for the said station. How was that money acquired? Who are your big sources for that investment?
Okay, Your Honor, I will have to ask our financial consultant before I can answer that.
That's okay. I assume this is above board. Just submit to us
Yes,
in writing the explanation for that. Because
Okay.
as you know, this particularly now, everybody's very concerned. I know you said it's 100% Filipino owned, and I believe I know this company. I just have to make sure so that they don't go back and tell us that we didn't do our due diligence. There was a pending, because also there was a pending temporary restraining order by the Court of Appeals at the time. Despite this, PCGG pushed through with the bidding and your corporation participated. So why did the company participate in the bid despite the fact that there was a pending TRO, I suppose, on the shares of the government for this radio station, IBC? So just submit to us the history behind that so that there will be no questions about it later on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next. The city government of Davao. Please do your
Good morning.
introduction.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I am Jeffrey Tupas. I am the City Information Officer of Davao City. The Davao City Disaster Radio has been operating since February last year. We partnered with the Armed Forces of the Philippines as their affiliate, a radio station in Davao City, pending our, of course, the franchise application. The radio station is funded by the disaster fund of the city, and we are also catering. We're not only heard in Davao City but also across the region. We also cater to programs from, for example, Davao de Oro, Davao Occidental, and the nearby provinces of Davao City. Basically, we are a radio station that the advocacy of the radio station is to prepare communities when it comes to disaster, allow them to be resilient and be ready when it comes to flood and this kind of disasters, Your Honor. So we are currently employing around 20 employees, all of them paid by the city government of Davao, Your Honor.
Okay. What's important, of course, is information, but also the importance of information is the validity of it and also the fairness of reporting. I know that you're with the city government or even a government corporation or even a government company should always be fair and balanced. And I hope Mr. Tupas, being one of the representatives, you will advocate for that, that everybody will have a chance for their freedom of expression, and then also, I mean, of course, to a limit without being offensive in a way. But I would also like to know: Are you helping the government with distance learning? Do you have a portion of your program for distance learning for students?
There was supposed to be a partnership with DepEd on this, Your Honor. Only that something went amiss during the negotiation, but it's not actually a major thing. It just didn't went through. When it comes to the information that you mentioned earlier, Your Honor, the mandate, the order of the city government, of the city mayor of Davao is to actually just report the facts.
Okay, so are you going to be one of the commentators, Mr. Tupas?
Every now and then I get to sit in one of the programs, but it's not always, Your Honor.
Okay, but you have main hosts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Well, thank you for your presence here today. And I don't see any. Well, we will ask. Are you a member of the KBP?
Not yet, Your Honor. The city government, the radio station is not yet a member of the KBP.
All right, then that's something you can probably work on. It's nice also to be a part of the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters. All right. Thank you very much.
Good day po.
Okay, next. The University of the Philippines System. Do we have the representative? Nandito ba? UP? Mr. I saw you. Mr. Uy? Sir, you're still muted.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my co-members in government. The University of the Philippines is asking for the renewal. It had been granted in 1995 a franchise that has expired, and we are operating on temporary permits from the NTC, I think. That's how I was made to understand. insofar as the budget of the UP of the TVUP is concerned, it's derived from the budget of the university itself by way of government appropriation.
Sir, can you speak louder, please? I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you speak louder or closer to your mic?
Yeah, the budget of the TV station is derived from the budget of the University of the Philippines, and so dependent also on the from on congressional appropriation. The TVUP or the broadcast of UP operates largely as an extension project of the purpose of the university. Under the charter of the UP, it is supposed to operate as an academic institution, but it has been granted extension work, and the TV franchise had always been operating as an extension, apart largely as an extension of extension project of the university.
Okay, sir, let me cut you off now. How many employees do you have?
I think there should be no more than less than 20, I think. Yeah, Madam Chair.
And give me a sample of your program. I always stress fairness, and I hope that you give all sides a chance to be able to present their views, right?
Some of the programs I am aware of involve like going from the more recent ones backwards. As I recall, when COVID-19 pandemic set in and the lockdown was enforced, or this was enforced, the programs focused on public information about the government issuances, and also the advice coming from the experts of the university, from PGH, information dissemination of ordinary safe practices, as well as update to the public of the pandemic, as well as the vaccines. But
Okay.
there were more to it. Just we submitted that to the commission, but right now I'm in search of it right now.
Okay,
Yes,
sir, thank you. I am in support of this. I think that the university, especially the University of the Philippines, should have its own broadcast capability. So there are no issues. I don't think I can recommend this for plenary. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next is Servatron Industries Incorporated. A brief introduction, please. Who is the representative? Are you present? Please unmute yourself. Wala? Okay. Incorporated.
Good morning, Your
wait.
Honor.
Okay.
I'm Attorney Mary Marlene Santos.
I'm sorry, attorney, can we go back to you? We have Servatron. I see them now. Mr. Escueta.
Yes, Your
Can you hear
Honor.
us?
Good morning, Madam Chair and other members of the committee. My name is Ramon Escueta. I'm the CEO of Servatron. Servatron is a domestic and Filipino-owned company, and we are now seeking for the renewal of our legislative franchise before this honorable committee. We employ 3 people, and we have applied for frequency with NTC for several years now, since 2007 on the digital platform. And we currently have existing agreements with DepEd to provide resources and assist them in their blended alternative educational system. We look forward to the renewal of the franchise, and we're willing to provide any document as well as additional information that Madam Chair and the other members of the committee would like us to provide. Thank you very much.
Where is your area of broadcast, sir? Servatron? Is this nationwide?
Yes. Initially, our franchise was NCR only, but this time we would like to amend our franchise to make it nationwide, so we can, as we have said, assist the DepEd in their blended alternative educational system in the other areas of the country, particularly the underserved areas.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let's go now to Christian Music Power Incorporated.
Good
Thank you very
morning,
much,
Your
Madam
Honor.
Chair.
Yes, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, all members of present. Your Honor, Christian Music operates under the business name EDS Radio. It has currently 4 FM stations situated in Kidapawan City, Zamboanga, Sibugay, Giholingan, and another one in Kidapawan. The station exists primarily to share God's message of hope and love through His Son, Jesus Christ. It aims to inspire its listeners, in particular the youth and young professionals, to lead a life of faith, positivity, and action. Its programming format is designed to propagate the Christian worldview through music ministry and social awareness, contribute to values formation and the development of strong family ties, life skills, and good partnership. It has an authorized capital of 8 million, a paid up of 2 million. I do not have at this time the number of employees, Your Honor, but the station continues its operation and also offers news, information, social, and educational issues. Programs, Your Honor.
Thank you. I understand that you partner up with the Department of Education for distance learning.
Yes, I would think so, Your Honor.
You don't know?
I'm not so sure about the Mindanao aspect of the operations relative to distance learning, Your Honor.
Okay.
But we can provide the information, Your Honor.
Yeah, please do, because it's also an important aspect of the consideration for your franchise. We have received a report that you are actually providing distance learning to students in Pagsanhan. So that is a very, very valuable consideration. Yes, please submit to the committee. I would like to acknowledge, actually, in this hearing, the presence of the President of the University of the Philippines, Attorney Danny Concepcion, but I can't see him in my monitor. Well, Attorney Danny, wala na namang problema dun sa franchise sa UP. Not because I was once in the UP system, but because we have many supporters also in the Senate that believe in the broadcast importance given to the University of the Philippines. Okay, so next, let's go to Roland Broadcasting. Roland, are you present? Are you present, Roland? We can't hear you. Okay, on to the next. Good News Sorsogon Foundation.
Present, Madam Chair.
Please identify yourself, your name again, please.
Opo, I am Father Philip Andrew Balmas Galianosa, Chair and CEO of Good News Sorsogon Foundation Incorporated.
Napakaganda na ng Sorsogon ngayon. Ang galing ng governor niyo, no?
Indeed, Madam. Sana nakaka-participate at cooperate kaming lahat.
Very good. Okay, please introduce yourselves.
Apo. Madam Chair, Senator Grace Po, honorable members of the Senate Committee on Public Services, and to all present, a blessed Wednesday morning po. As I said before, I am Father Philip, Chair and CEO of Good News Sorsogon Foundation Incorporated. These last 6 years, I have experienced firsthand how Good News, GN, through radio and television, social media, have been of great religious, educational, cultural, social, community, and public service and disaster preparedness service to the city and the province of Sorsogon. It has not been an easy challenge as we have always been beset by many difficulties, but with the help of the good people of Sorsogon and our benefactors from other places, we continue our mission to spread the good news. We have many typhoons, Your Honor, Sisang to Ulysses, and GNSFI through Spirit FM Sorsogon has constantly and without fail been of service to the local disaster risk and management office of the local government unit together with the KBP radio stations. And we have continually served Sorsogon through balanced information, news, inspiring programs, promoting religion, education, health and livelihood, and wholesome entertainment. Your Honors, in these times of pandemic, since March 2020, we have worked overtime in ensuring that holy masses and religious services are heard and shown at home, and making health advisories and tips widely disseminated, helping our local Department of Health and through programs such as Doctors on Air, in making available programs to allay fear and anxiety through religious programs and mental health related segments, especially through Hello Father and other programs of our evangelization team. In aiding our local education, Department of Education, Senator and members of the Senate of committee hearing, we are offering the radio for the past, we have been offering the radio for the past months already for the RBI, radio-based instruction, the DepEd Sorsogon Province, and also the DepEd Sorsogon City. And in this way, we hope to continue to teach and help our young to education must continue these times of pandemic through Escuela and Radio Escuela of the GNSFI. We have been learning through these past years.
Thank you, Father Philip. I think we've heard enough of the service-oriented network or broadcast network that you are going to provide. So we appreciate that. We have to go on to the next now. Thank you again, sir. Allied Broadcasting Center Incorporated. Just a very brief introduction.
Good morning, Your Honors. Morning, ma'am. I'm Emmanuel Galang, President of the Allied Broadcasting Corporation, and we're operating several radio stations in the provinces.
Okay, I know that from your track record, I actually visited one of your radio stations, and I know that you provide vital information. Mr. Galang, do you have any partnerships with DepEd? I'm just curious for distance learning.
No, ma'am.
But would the company have the capability? Do you still have airtime to provide that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's all, Mr. Galang. Thank you very much. Okay, next we have St. Jude Institute of Technology.
Good morning, Your Honors. St. Jude Tadeus Institute of Technology is the only institution in the Caraga region. It offers degree programs and technical vocational courses in broadcasting and engineering with state-of-the-art television and radio broadcasting facilities and equipment. It operates FM and TV station in Surigao City and operates in Mawab, Davao de Oro, Jensan, and Rosario Agusan. It offers for its programming wholesome entertainment and timely news and public affairs information to its listeners. It has an authorized capital of 15 million and a paid up of 6,786,000. That's all, Your Honor.
That's a very concise a very concise and complete presentation. Thank you so much, St. Jude Institute of Technology.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Next, Highland Broadcasting Network Corporation.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is Carmelo Coro. I'm the president. I represent Highland Broadcasting Network. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee for giving us opportunity to apply for a franchise. If given the franchise, we will be operating in the northern part of Mindanao, primarily in Bukidnon and probably Cagayan de Oro. We've noticed during the pandemic that especially when the government have their daily briefings that none of the stations or probably just one or two of them hooked up, and the people of Bukidnon and Northern Mindanao were not able to hear the current status of the country and the pandemic. Also, it's very important for us, being an agricultural country, to give updates to the farmers when typhoon comes and other programs the government basically for free seedlings and fertilizer, etc. If franchise, we initially be operating probably in Bukidnon or in Cagayan de Oro, and we will be initially be having around 9 to 12 employees, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Would you have the technical capability to broadcast in those far-flung areas? I'm glad to hear that that's your main goal, is to provide information, and especially in those areas that the signal is pretty weak. Would you have that capability, Mr. Carmelo?
Yes, ma'am. We currently have a technical study, Madam, that tells us basically how high the antenna should be and what is the wattage that we need to put for the first station, basically. So based on the outcome of that study, of our technical study, we will be complying, and basically that's the first setup that we will be doing. So
do you know how much your capital should be to be able to make this possible, roll this out?
Initially, Madam Chair, we were told that initially it will be costing around, for the first station, around 10 to 15 million pesos, Madam Chair, thereabouts.
10 to 15 or 10 to 50?
15, Madam, 15.
15. And Ward, are you the chairman of the company?
Yeah, I'm the president, the chairman, Madam.
How many employees do you plan to hire?
Initially, it will be around 9 to 12, Madam, but they're probably be purely technical, since we'll just be setting up, and probably we want to basically hire from the local universities, basically for the engineers. So fresh graduates or recently graduate engineers from the local universities.
That's a very progressive idea. I'm glad you thought of that. Hiring from the local community, from your own graduates to provide them jobs. That's exactly the goal of having a franchise. And congratulations to your province, because I know there's like so much potential and promise lately with your very capable leaders.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you so much.
All right.
Madam Chair.
Next.
Madam
Yes.
Chair. Just one question, Madam Chair.
Oh, wait. Okay. So I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Joel Villanueva.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know that Bukidnon is one of the most exciting province right now in the country, and the information is very important. I just wanted to know from the chair and CEO if this is being pushed also by our LGUs, especially if our colleague from the Senate, Senator Zubiri, is okay with this, Madam Chair.
I believe Senator Zubiri is present, Madam Chair. So,
Madam Chair, yes, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I'd like to acknowledge again our majority leader. Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry, I'm just shuttling between the Bangsamoro Extension and the Franchise Committee. But yes, I'm also a principal sponsor of this as I filed the version in the Senate. Our problem, Madam Chair, in Bukidnon is we're so isolated geographically because of the mountainous nature of our province. And so we are so happy that we have investors that are coming in that will be able to help us with spreading the good news, spreading more information to the public there. So yes, Madam Chair, we're in full support of this measure. And we thank the committee for taking this up. Thank you.
Then, Madam Chair, we are also in full support because I asked that question because we are all aware that previously Bukidnon is one of the top 10 poorest provinces in the country, and now it's gone in that category. It's moving by leaps and bounds, Madam
Top
Chair,
five.
because
Madam
of the
Chair,
governor,
top five reaches.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to add to that, Madam Chair, we're the 5th richest province now in terms of assets and of course income. So we're very proud of that. We'd like to spread that out to the whole region. Thank you, Senator Joel. Thank you, po.
Governor, Madam Chair.
Yes. It's important that there's proper representation for the provinces. Look at Senator Zubiri's Bukidnon, and of course we have Senator Drilon's Iloilo, both very progressive. I think that many probably don't know, but the majority leader is a farmer. So maybe you'll have, Mr. Carmelo, you'll have programs that will benefit our farmers in Bukidnon, especially now there are some challenges being faced by many of them all over the country. So I guess that's it. I'm sure this will be recommended for plenary. Thank you very much, Highland. Next, we have Tagbilaran.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Madam Chair,
Senator
may I
Joel.
just pose a parliamentary inquiry? May we know if the UP franchise has already been tackled? I'm sorry because I'm going from commission on appointments to committee hearings and stuff. I just wanted to know, Madam Chair.
Yes, it's been tackled, but if you would like to do manifest anything, we would welcome that, Senator Joel.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm no longer going to give my sponsorship speech, but may I just be allowed to move that it be inserted into the records, Madam Chair, as I wanted to make sure that I am part of this deliberation and to signify my full support to this measure, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you, Senator Joel. Your manifestation will be included in our records.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Daniel, President of Tagbilaran.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Po si Anastasio Daniel Jr. po, Presidente po ng Tagbilaran Broadcasting. Hindi po marinig.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear that you are helping the Department of Education also with distance learning.
Yes, ma'am.
We will also recommend the approval of your franchise plenary. Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you po.
Okay, Palawan Broadcasting. Mr. Damasco, sir, go ahead, please.
Yes. Good morning, Madam Presiding, Your Honors, especially sa aking kababayan, Senator Mig Subiri ng Bukidnon. Madam Presiding, Palawan Broadcasting Corporation is the first broadcasting company in our province, Palawan. Bahagi na po ito ng aming kasaysayan at buhay ng bawat Palawenyo na hinubog ng nag-iisa lamang noon na himpilan ang DYPR. ninanais po ng mamamayan ng lalawigan ng Palawan, Madam Presiding, na mananatiling buhay ang DYPR sa pamamagitan ho ng pag-renew ng prangkisa nito kung inyo pong mamarapatin. Kaya kami po ay nakikiusap na sana pagbigyan po ninyo na manatiling buhay ang DYPR para patuloy itong makapaglingkod sa aming lalawigan, maging sa ibang lalawigan na mayroon po kaming otoridad na mag-broadcast. Makakaasa po kayo, Madam Presiding Officer, mga Your Honors, na mananatili kaming katuwang ng ating pamahalaan na maging daluyan ng mga mahalaga impormasyon sa ating bayan at mamamayan, lalong-lalo na po sa mga advokasya po ninyo, Senator Grace Madam Presiding. Tatanawin po namin na isang malaking utang na loob na muli pong mapagbigyan at sisiguruhin po na magiging bahagi po kayo ng kasaysayan bilang mga opisyal na muling bubuhay sa pinakaunang broadcasting station ng lalawigan ng Palawan, ang DYPR, sa pamamagitan ng prangkisa po dito na Palawan Broadcasting Corporation. Maraming salamat po, Madam Presiding.
Maraming salamat din, Councilor Damasco. Ang ganda ng presentation po ninyo. Maikli lamang pero damang-dama. Alam mo yung Palawan, malaking hamon talaga dahil alam mo naman yung mga isla dyan, di ba? At ang dami sa ating mga kababayan na nabibighani sa ganda ng Palawan at pumupunta dyan. Napakahalaga ng impormasyon, lalong-lalo na para sa ating mga mangingisda, para malaman kung anong panahon, anong lagay ng laot, di ba? Lahat ng mga bagay na yan. At importante na makarating sa kanila ang mga balita kaagad-agad. So, maraming salamat ulit, Councilor, sa iyong presentation. Ire-recommenda po namin ito sa plenaryo. Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat po, Madam. Thank you po.
Thank you. Now we have Baycoms Broadcasting. Mr. Catulpos.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair. Honorable Grace po. Good morning, Your Honors. I am Elmer V. Catulpos. I am the President and Chief Executive Officer of Baycoms Broadcasting Corporation. Our company, Baycoms, is a grantee of legislative franchise to operate radio and television stations in the Philippines pursuant to Republic Act 8718 that was enacted on July 16, 1998. Baycoms is 100% Filipino-owned with 167 employees. As of today, Your Honors, Baycoms is carrying out its broadcast through its 27 FM radio stations nationwide with news, public affairs, and music format in our content. We are providing 1 hour free airtime for DepEd in all our radio stations for DepEd blended alternative learning system. We have 26 FM stations located in the Visayas and Mindanao regions and 1 FM radio station in Batangas. We also have 1 TV broadcast station that is operating in General Santos City. Although the focus of our broadcast have been in the countryside, we humbly believe that we have been able to fulfill the mandate of public service that is at the heart of our legislative franchise. That is why we respectfully ask Your Honors that we be granted a renewal of our legislative franchise so that we can continue to provide quality, dependable, and trustworthy broadcast to our audiences, especially in the provinces. On behalf of Baycoms Broadcasting Corporation, I would like to thank this committee for including our application in the agenda of today's hearing. Thank you, Your Honors. That would be all. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you, Mr. Catulpos. And I'm glad to hear that you're actually broadcasting in many different provinces, almost nationally, you know? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lastly, we have Roland and
Thank you.
Miss
Thank you, Your Honors.
General Manager Paglumotan.
Magandang umaga po, Your Honor, at sa lahat ng miyembro ng committee. Nagpapasalamat po ako dahil bilang kinatuwa ng Roland Broadcasting Incorporated, and we are only limited to the province of Palawan, ang mapaglingkuran ng buong husay at buong tapat ang napakalawak na lalawigan ng Palawan. At nagpapasalamat po ako bilang General Manager ng Highland Broadcasting na naisama kami ngayong umaga. And we are hoping to secure our renewal of our franchise. At kami po ay in full support sa mga magagandang advokasya po ng pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Tatalima kami sa batas at higit sa lahat, paglilingkuran namin ang sambayan ng Palawenyo. That would be all. Maraming salamat, Your Honor.
Alam mo, ang gagaling talaga ng mga taga-Palawan ngayon. Ha? Meron pa mga pagtutulungan sa mga ibang radio stations. That's very nice to hear. And of course, mentioning that you will be compliant with the laws of the country and that you will provide the service. Thank you so much, Mr. Paglumotan. Now,
maraming salamat, Your Honor.
Okay, we will also recommend to plenary the approval of your franchise. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Nancy Binay. So before we go to the KBP, if they for them to be able to give a short statement with regards to the applicants for broadcast, I would like to acknowledge Senator Bongo, who would like to deliver his manifestation. Is Senator Bongo present now? Baka nasa CA pa. Okay. Can we ask the representative? I think it's Mr. Herman Basbanyo of KBP. Sir, are you familiar with those that are applying now for their franchises? If you have anything to add to our discussion with regards to the reputation of those companies that you're familiar with.
Yes, magandang umaga po, Madam Chair, Your Honors. Good morning po. We interpose no objection, Madam Chair, to all the applications. As a matter of fact, we fully support all the applications, including the non-members, Madam Chair, with the prayer lang na they become members of the KBP in due time so that we can share with them our system, our guidelines, and our broadcast code of ethics, Madam Chair. So, supportan din namin ang lahat na mga applications, Madam Chair.
Maganda talaga yung samahan ng KBP, very supportive of the broadcast industries, but also promoting the proper ethical standards. And that's important. For the broadcast industries, alam mo, meron na tayong good manners and right conduct na batas na ipinasa para sa ating mga paaralan. Siguro, importante, ipaalala rin natin yan. Yung pwede naman tayong maging critical, pero siguro yung tamang pakikitungo at respeto sa isa't isa ay mapahalagahan natin. At isa yan sa isinusulong ng KBP. And meron silang self-regulation. So malakas na samahan yan. So mga hindi pang kasali, sumali na kayo. Yung Highland, sumali kayo. Highland Broadcasting. Para tapos siguro yung Davao rin. Very charming din yung mga representatives ng mga bagong radio applicants dito eh. So yun lamang po. Tutungo na tayo sa pangalawang...
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Pero wala pa yata si Senator Bongo. Mamanifest ba? Nasa CA pa rin siya. Okay. So kung wala ng katanungan para sa ating mga broadcast franchise applicants, right now, I would just like to say that I am inclined to recommend all of the applicants now for submission to plenary.
Madam Chair.
Hold on just 1 second. 1 second, please. Sorry, may pinuntahan lang akong isa pang hearing. Balik agad. All right.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Senator Nancy.
Before we approve lang, gusto ko lang sana itanong, kasi alam naman ho natin, di ba, we have this blended learning. And I think isa doon sa bahagi ng blended learning yung participation ng mga broadcasting natin. Doon ba sa mga applicants po ngayon, meron ba silang collaboration with DepEd?
Senator Nancy, they all said that they have already an existing partnership or they are willing to provide airtime for that partnership.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so we will recommend to plenary the approval of your franchises. Of course, for the ones that were cited by the SEC, please fulfill the requirements that are needed so that we can already fast track the approval. And also, there are some questions that I asked an applicant, just submit to our office. So we have it for the record because as you know, whenever we publish the names of the applicants for franchises, our constituents send us questions to ask also. So we have to be able to articulate those questions. So again, thank you to our guests from the broadcast industry. You're free to watch our hearing for the telecommunications franchise. But if not, enjoy your lunch.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank
Maraming
you,
salamat.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Madam Chair, to all the applicants and to Herman Basbano, my good friend. Sir,